Today is a beautiful sunny day like any other in the Mushroom Kingdom. Mario is waiting at a bus stop so he can head to work at his 9-to-5 job of saving Princess Peach, but something doesn't feel quite right. There's Goombas. Lots of Goombas. So many Goombas, in fact, that there seems to be 4 more appearing every single second. Will Mario still be able to save the princess under these circumstances, or will he lose his job and be replaced by his evil brother Luigi? Like any other, Mario started his workday in Cap Kingdom, and holy shit, they're already spawning. Mario meets up with his sufferable coworker Cappy, who he explains this whole Goomba issue to. Cappy agrees to help, and the two travel through Cap Kingdom and meet Topper, the first boss. Now, running through a kingdom, Goombas don't get a chance to pile up much, but during a boss fight, that isn't the case. This makes the fight much harder as more and more Goombas spawn in. However, Topper is a pushover and they beat him easily. Entering Cascade, they're tasked with collecting 5 power moons. Trying to use the Chain Chomp to collect the first moon like normal doesn't work because the Goombas get in the way and cancel Mario's attack. Instead, they jump past the river and go straight towards the dinosaur who can break the rock and get them the first moon. Next, Mario and Cappy go straight to the Madame Brutal fight, and immediately there's a problem. If a Goomba hits the golden Chain Chomp as they attack, Madame Brutal soft locks, making it impossible for them to finish the fight. To get around this, Mario and Cappy need to collect 4 more moons and leave the kingdom. The first moon is located behind this broken wall, the second in this 2D section, and a third by clipping out of bounds to collect this chest. The last moon is a bit more complicated because it's way up there on that floating island. You'd think Mario would stack the Goombas, but he had a better idea. If he quickly captured and uncaptured the Goombas as they spawned around him, he could literally fly. And it actually worked too. They got the moon and headed to Sand Kingdom. As the two enter Sand Kingdom, Cappy has an idea. You know what would really help us get past those Goombas? Cappy remarked. A car. So Mario bought a Mercedes GLA first thing when he arrived. This made traveling through the kingdom super easy as any Goombas that got in their way became roadkill. Mario and Cappy arrived at the inverted pyramid, beat Harriet, and headed towards the final boss of the kingdom, Knuckletech. Honestly, this guy kinda sucks. When Mario captures his fist, the Goombas have a random chance when they spawn to knock him back. This makes the fight incredibly RNG dependent and a complete pain. But after 30 minutes of failing, dying, and failing again, Knuckletech is dead, and Mario and Cappy travel to Lake Kingdom. Goombas can't swim, so this kingdom is a breeze. However, wooded is a bit harder, specifically the Torque Drift boss fight. To clear the fight, Mario has to use an uproot to break 3 shield generators and then attack the glass dome under the boss. He has to repeat this 3 times total, plus an additional time to trigger the fight. It is nearly impossible to damage the glass dome without getting hurt. Additionally, Mario will take damage during his fall stun when entering the arena, meaning there are a total of 5 guaranteed hits during the fight. To make it just barely possible, Mario and Cappy can collect a life apart before starting the fight and 2 hearts during the fight. With just 1 health to spare, the fight is finished and they head towards Cloud Kingdom. This kingdom is home to the first Bowser fight. You'd think this battle would just be a little annoying, but these Goombas make it really hard to punch Bowser that you would imagine. As the game crashed, Mario, Bowser, and all his friends would cease to exist. I turned back on the console. Mario needs to beat Bowser without tearing apart the fabric of space and time. If he takes damage on a certain frame of the punch animation, the game will crash without question. To avoid this, Mario has to have a perfect fight. Or he could abuse iframes. If he can't be hurt during the animation, the game can't crash. This is really hard to do consistently, but eventually the fight is cleared. They head to Lost Kingdom, collect the 10 moons to leave easily, and then go to Metro. To travel through the kingdom, Mario has to unfortunately opt for a scooter, since he did kind of lose his car in the apocalypse, but he's still able to reach Mecha Wiggler, Metro Kingdom's boss. This fight follows a similar pattern to some of the previous. While attacking, it's impossible to avoid damage, but if Mario and Cappy are fast enough, they have just barely enough health to beat the fight with a life apart. For their bravery, a festival is held where Mario parades through the city as Goombas fall from the sky. It's crazy to think just how much Mario has helped the citizens of New Donk City. Snow Kingdom is really easy, well, except for the fact that Crazy Cat refuses to take Mario's business. Gee, I wonder why. Seaside Kingdom is next, which doubles the Goomba drowning fatality rate while Mario explodes a giant squid, which is then followed by the luncheon. Spirit is pretty easy to defeat here, and there's plenty of moons to collect, but Mario and Cappy are completely completely locked out of the story because Goombas are vegan. Yes, as it turns out, if Mario tries to capture the meat in this kingdom to add to the giant soup, the Goombas get pissed and force him out of the capture, so that's a thing. Ruined Kingdom can get kind of tricky with all these Goombas, but there's this really easy wall jump strat that can be used to cheese the entire fight as long as Mario avoids the Goombas while attacking. After a hard-fought battle, our two heroes make it to Bowser's Kingdom. The linear bits here and there are pretty easy, but the boss fights prove to be difficult. Trying to hit bombs back at Harriet when Goombas are everywhere is as hard as it sounds, but in a few attempts, Harriet is dead. Topper poses a similar threat with all the Goombas just adding to the intense chaos of all the spinning hats. Shortly after, however, he goes down too. Mario and Cappy climb to the top of the kingdom and face Mecha Brutal. This fight is a lot harder than Harriet and Topper. You'd think it'd be easy to just jump on top of the mech and do the speedrun strats, which you can, but the Goombas really start to get in the way. This frustration built up within Mario as he'd die again and again during the fight. In order to work out his mental anguish, he decided to kill hundreds, if not thousands of Goombas. Cappy was a bit concerned, but he didn't get paid enough to actually care. Eventually, they went back to the mech fight, won, and could head towards the final kingdom. Even with Goombas, the start of Moon Kingdom is the same, and skipping Moon Cave is still really easy. But then we get to the Bowser fight rematch. Just like before, taking damage during a specific animation crashes the game, so Mario has to damage boost to get hits, and to top it off, there's some other small changes that make the fight even harder. The first time Mario punches Bowser, he blocks the hit, and only the second time does it actually count as damage. And then in between phases, Bowser spews fire, leaving even more room to make mistakes. These two additions make the fight exponentially more difficult than the version in Cloud Kingdom. However, after countless deaths, Mario and Cappy overcome this obstacle. All that's left is escape, but the Goombas aren't giving up. They begin to spawn faster and faster. However, there was nothing they could do to stop Mario and Cappy. They'd finish the game, save the princess, and after all this time, Mario had had enough. All this Goomba shit? No, I quit, shouted Mario. Having had enough of his overworked minimum wage job, he left the moon, never looking back. 3 days later, he picked up the hobby of streaming Fortnite on Twitch, while his brother Luigi would be hired in his stead. All according to plan, Luigi grimaced. The Goombas worked. From behind the curtains, he had been pulling the strings all along. It was Luigi who had sent the Goombas after Mario. It was Luigi who had sold him the Mercedes. And it was Luigi who had been arranging backroom deals to sneak Bowser into Peach's castle. And now Luigi was in the perfect position to have full control over the princess kidnapping industry. It was over. Luigi had won. Thanks for watching.